Among the many characters and figures that live on, interact with, and shape the world of Wrath, many are well known, and their stories told wide and far. However, none are quite as mysterious and influential as Fjendahl. In the game itself, the name Fjendahl is most often associated with the extremely rare and fabled card Heart of Fjendahl. With the chances of pulling this card from a booster pack very unlikely, collectors pay a high premium for a chance to own one, and players swoon over the majestic art and design of it. Highly competitive players will seek out another card, that of Fjendahl's Spring Tunic, as the benefit of an extra resource point every few turns is highly powerful. Thankfully, while still quite rare, the tunic is more common to find in your booster pack. It still fetches a decent price however, as professional players and tournament grinders alike yearn for the extra benefits alongside their decks. Even the card Tome of Fjendahl has been seeing competitive play as of late, finding a home in the championship deck from the Calling Auckland 2020 tournament. It seems that anywhere Fjendahl is mentioned, the word powerful often follows. But who or what is Fjendahl? Where did these mysterious artifacts originate from? And why are they so powerful? The information that we currently have regarding Fjendahl is limited, and with no solid proof as to who or what they are, the best we can do is speculate. The information we do have, however, can allow us to formulate a few theories that seem likely or convincing. The first theory, and the one that a lot of people may believe, is that Fjendahl was, or is, a person in some form or capacity. The strongest piece of evidence for this theory lies in the artwork for Fjendahl's Spring Tunic. It is not wrong for us to assume that the person wearing Fjendahl's Spring Tunic is, indeed, Fjendahl themselves. If Fjendahl is the person wearing their namesake tunic, then she is most likely a woman who attended the carnivals found within Aria, a magic-filled region that fosters joy and peace. Something that also gives credence to this theory is some information that can be found within the Welcome to Wrath lorebook. On page 97, in the section that talks about the performers that can be found across Aria, it states, "Some stage their performances within the circus tents, while others perform in the open, enchanting passers-by. Stilt walkers wade through the crowds, as bards tell stories and music drifts through the air. Rings of tents hide fortune tellers and oracles, curtains drawn back to reveal the candlelit tables within. Illusions and displays of light weave their way through the air above, while below, the enchantresses and illusionists dance, their golden jewelry chiming with every movement." Looking at the art for the Spring Tunic, you can see that the dress itself has bits of golden jewelry hanging from it, and so does the woman wearing it. It is also clear that the artwork depicts a festival, almost guaranteed to be Aria. This means that Fjendahl is connected to the region of Aria in some form, but this fact will be explained a little bit later. As for the theory that Fjendahl is a person, despite having artwork depicting a woman in one of the cards mentioning Fjendahl, the fact that Heart of Fjendahl depicts a strange gem as a heart lends credit to other theories that suggest she was something more than human. Another popular theory about the origin of Fjendahl, many believe that she may be a god within the World of Wrath. Within the region of Aria, a region that we now know holds some connection to Fjendahl, a tale is shared amongst its inhabitants. Storytellers recall the creation of the sun and moon by an entity simply known as the Exalted One. The tale goes something like this. Long ago, the world of Wrath was cast into darkness, and its people cried out in fear. No plant could grow, no creature could see, and all was silent and still. And so, the Exalted One, great creator of life, gave light to the world, plucking 2 stars from distant skies. One star became the sun and was placed within a chariot of radiant gold. The other became the moon and was placed within a chariot of shining silver. However, all was not yet complete. The Exalted One gave life to 2 new beings, a pair of divine beings known as Barda and Asra. Bright, lively Barda was given the golden chariot and 2 swift steeds of vibrant flame. Quiet, thoughtful Asra was given the silver chariot, and 2 gentle steeds of pale frost. At once, the twins took to the sky. The light of golden Barda brought day to the children of Wrath, a time of life and of creation. The light of silver Azra brought night, the time to rest and to recharge. Thus, the people of Wrath flourished beneath the light of the stars, and the twins have proudly fulfilled their duty ever since. Some interesting flavor text regarding the creation of the Sun and Moon has recently been revealed in the Arcane Rising expansion, found on the card Sun Kiss. Separated by a power greater than their own, they chased each other across the sky, wishing for nothing more than to reunite. Another piece of information that could refer to Fyendal being a deity is found on another card of their namesake, Tome of Fyendal. It states, "Even the simplest recollection of the Old Ones holds immense power." This confirms that Fyendal was at the very least a powerful entity, possibly a deity, and is considered an Old One. But what exactly is an Old One? Are they gods, ancestors of Wrath before it was settled, or something different entirely? This leads me to the final theory, one that I personally believe is the most likely. Before Wrath was settled by humans, it once belonged to others. If you have watched my first video which discusses the world of Wrath itself, you may remember a small piece of information that I discussed. This is the land of Wrath, a land once fueled by magic, once a home to incredible beings beyond imagination. Humans have overtaken the land, spreading across the continent and changing the land around them. So, Wrath was once inhabited by extremely powerful beings, and we have seen mentions of beings known as Old Ones, so it is safe to assume that they are one and the same. This would confirm that Fyendal was on Wrath before humans arrived, and is extremely powerful. Taking a look at the artwork for Heart of Fyendal, we can see that it is a gem of some sort, wrapped in vines and branches. Keep this image in your mind, as we'll come back to this soon. Within another section of the Welcome to Wrath lorebook, there is a peculiar entry in the section that discusses Aria. The section is named A Lost Tome, and the following is written. This unknown damaged journal was found in a cave revealed by the changing of the flow. It is unknown how old the journal is, or who owned it, but it remains a dubious record of someone called a Guardian, assumedly related to Aria's history in some way. Some of the pages are missing, others show signs of water damage, and the cover is marked with what appears to be burns. We have managed to extract a small excerpt of the tome, despite the heavy damage. Following this section is an image of one of the pages from this tome. This page is worn, and a lot of the writing is faded. It says the following. Several months in, and still nothing. The book keeps telling me I haven't found anything yet. It's been weeks, and I'm still travelling around, waiting for something to happen. It did lead me to a lake. There was an old woman there, but she didn't know anything about any guardians. She didn't even know what a guardian was. Is this book truthful? Maybe it knows me and has been leading me on a path of a guardian, but I do not understand how they would get it to write all by itself. The messages keep appearing. I've tried to discover the source of its power, but I tire of travelling and being misled. It didn't give me the instructions. It even disappeared for a few hours yesterday. I spent the whole day searching before I finally found it next to a cave, and I swear it changed while it was missing. It's larger now. I have to hold it with the rest of my gear. When I opened it this morning, there was a drawing of a Ka'ayo next to a fallen tree trunk, but it didn't tell me anything about where to find it or why it was there. I've been pondering my next move for some time now, but I haven't completed any of the deeds or tasks that it described. I don't know if I'm even going to uphold my promise and become a guardian at this point. In the morning when I awoke, I found some kind of gem buried in the earth next to my campsite. There was this great furry creature sitting nearby with something in its jaws. I can't understand it. I wonder if it has any connection to this book. What familiar creatures? I didn't think there were many left. It can be theorized that what you just heard was the recollection of an individual who was using the Tome of Fyendal as a guide to become a guardian. To further back up this statement, we can take a look at the section within the lore book that talks about the guardians and how they came to be. Long ago, when Aria was surrounded by war and strife, the people of Aria were protected by the Guardians. The Guardians were blessed with a connection to an elemental, gifting them with extraordinary abilities. Through years of training, they learned to hone their abilities and transform into incredible warriors, blessed with supernatural strength and elemental skills. The flow shaped them, molding them into the perfect protector, tasked with guarding their people and their home. So, with all the information that is now presented, let me give you what I believe to be the most significant evidence as to the origins of Fyendal. The damaged journal entry speaks of a person searching for something, using a tome to direct them towards their goal. This magical tome is what we can reasonably assume to be the Tome of Fyendal. This tome is most likely a way for those worthy of the title of Guardian to become one, guiding them and shaping them to become defenders of the land. Perhaps the heart of Fyendal is the means for Guardians to use the flow to empower themselves in battle. The gem that was described by the writer of the journal sounds similar to that of the heart. It would make sense for it to be so, the destination of aspiring Guardians. With Guardians also having a strong connection to an elemental, the ties with the mysterious gem, and the tome, it seems to prove a potential theory. Fyendal was one of the Old Ones, powerful elementals that could shape the land around them, possibly even giving birth to it. The heart of Fyendal seems like a perfect fit for the source of power behind a powerful elemental. You may be thinking, how does this connect to the tunic? If this theory we just discussed is correct, then perhaps the spring tunic is merely an item of clothing crafted with the essence of the flow, and worn by enchantresses as a symbol of their connection to the land. One final piece of information I would like to cover is something that we have only recently learned. Within the backstory of the Arknight Viserai, a particular section may have actually given us the names of these Old Ones. When Viserai converses with a mysterious stained glass window, decorated with the image of a woman, the entity, referred to as Whisper, states, "Beware the man born into power, who abandoned his people to pursue the arcane arts. He who, even now, seeks power to rival the Aesir themselves. He who would bend and break the laws of this world as he sees fit." One final note as well. As I was editing this video, Radio Reflex with Ian and Alan had an interview with Nikki, one of the creative writers for Legend Story Studios. She answered a few lore questions that people had, including some that I asked myself. One of these questions that was asked to her was who exactly Fyendal was, and while she gave no comment as to who Fyendal actually is, she did mention that the spring tunic is actually a family heirloom. Make of that what you will, but that gives more credit to the fact that Fyendal is not so much the person wearing the tunic, but perhaps someone a bit older. So, after learning about these theories, which ones do you believe to be true? Do you think Fyendal was a powerful elemental, one of the Old Ones? Were they a powerful god that merely instilled their power in the land and its inhabitants? Or were they really just a human all along? Until more lore and stories are released, we may never know the true origin behind one of Flesh and Blood's most influential and powerful characters. But until that day, play hard and hit harder.